Hello, this is Professor Bustillo-Booth, and in this video tutorial, I will walk over the expectations for Canvas discussion posts and replies. This will be true for all of my classes I teach across my online, hybrid, as well as face-to-face courses. All right, so what you're seeing here is a Canvas discussion for Business 101, and this will serve as my example for all of my classes that I teach. What you see here are the directions. This is for week 3, but again, this video tutorial is relevant for all of the discussions. And you'll find here that there are the tasks. So you initially reply to this post by Monday before the discussion is due to receive full points. And Canvas discussions are typically due on Wednesday. So you'll want to make sure that your initial post is posted by Monday, 11:59 p.m. And then you may also post a video instead. In either case, you must follow my directions. And then it says here how to reply to the post is to copy and bold each discussion question, and then to reply thoughtfully to each in turn. And so what I have prepared here is an example of my expectations. So this is already on Canvas, and you can go ahead and click it, as we will do here. This is that document that is already embedded within discussions, and I'll just go over it with you here so that it's clear. So again, it'll say here, copy and bold each discussion question, right? And then you reply thoughtfully in each in turn. And I want to give you a visual of what I expect. And the reason for this is that by following this format, it is not only professional, but it all really helps the reader, your instructor, as well as your peers, follow your thought pattern and understand what it is that, and follow and understand what it is that you're writing. So the first thing you want to do, in this case, I have copied and bolded 3 of the questions that are in an assignment. So for example here, this would have been one of the questions, in this case A, and you would copy and paste that and then bold it. And you can bold that through one of the functionalities within Canvas, or you can do Control CTRL, which is in the lower left-hand corner of your keyboard, and B at the same time. So you would depress those 2 keys together as you highlight, and then it would bold. Then you would then create a space in between, and that is just easier on the eye to distinguish between the question that you have posed and then the answer that you will put down in here. And what I've done is just generated a lorem ipsum, which is a Latin set of words to serve as placeholders. And you can then, of course, do multiple paragraphs if you want. And I would like to have a space in between. That way it's easier on the eye. You can imagine that for an instructor, for example, we read a lot of these, not just in one class, but across classes. And our eyes do get tired in trying to figure out what part is the question, what part is the answer. So we're just going to practice this very professional way of posting a reply. This is expected in business, and we're just going to practice it here. And you'll find then that is followed, there's a space, and then the second question is copied and put and bolded. And then when you copy that is through the Control and C function, right? So Control and the letter C depressed together on the keyboard, and then how you paste that is Control and the letter V depressed together, and then it will appear here. And then to bold it is Control V. Those are shortcuts on your keyboard. If you would like to know more about those kinds of keyboard shortcuts, I'm sure there's a YouTube video that will walk you through it. And again, you want to have a space here that's just easier on the eye to follow. And then you write your response, your thoughtful response, supported by concepts that are in your reading, right? I don't want you to write things in here that are just on, something that is in your gut. You want this to be supported by the kinds of business principles that you are learning, all right? Of course, you can offer your thoughts, but it cannot be opinion only. It needs to be substantiated by certain fundamental principles. And you can see here, this is the third question, and then again, there's a space. You copy and paste and bold, and then you have your answer. All right, and then if you want to post a video, which of course you can do as per my instructions, you must present yourself in a professional manner, in appearance, in voice, and surrounding. So be sure you speak clearly and away from background noise. That way it's presented itself clearly before the, the audience, and they can distinguish what it's you're saying from, what may be happening in the background. And really the professional thing to do is to have a quiet space and present yourself in that manner. I want you to think of this as, for example, if you were having a Skype interview with your, your prospective employer, you want to present yourself in the best way possible, right? And then you must say the question first, followed by answers. So imagine, for example, somebody saying, and by the way, it's not just a video, you can do audio as well. That's okay. Just make sure you follow this format. You say, hi, I'm Sarah. Let me respond to each of the post questions in turn. First, to the question, one source of competitive advantage, you read the whole question, right? And then you say, let me go ahead and then you answer that question. One of Redbox competitive advantages, and so on. And you want to be, you want to be clear with your answers and your supporting principles that you're substantiating your answers against. And then you say, let me go ahead and answer number 2. That way you really are, helping your listener follow along. And this is it's a skill, and it's a good skill to have, right? Then you read that full question and then you explain. Then the third question, in what ways, that red box, and so on. So you basically follow the same format in the written way in an oral fashion. All right. And here are my expectations for the peer reply. You reply to 3 of your peers' posts, unless it's stated otherwise in the directions. You want to quote a portion of the reply, the one that you are responding to. And then you want to respectfully indicate to the extent you agree or disagree or have a different take on their statement or perspective. And of course, answers like, I agree with your statement, good job, that doesn't really add much to the discussion, but just recognizes that the person said something, really isn't what I'm looking for. And that will likely receive a 0 for that portion. So you want to really add to the conversation, want to add to the classroom intelligence by, substantiating, expanding, perhaps taking on a different perspective. So here's an example in written form, which you can also do in audio or video, and you can be conversational about it, but you do want to indicate in audio and video form what it is you're responding to. That way people can follow. So in this case, you're quoting, I think Redbox competitive advantage is because, and I don't want you to do ... this ellipsis here. I want you to copy the whole quote. I'm just making this short here for our purposes in this tutorial, but I really want you to write, copy and paste the entire quote, and it is, sandwiched between this quote marks, right, quotations. And then you say your piece. Hi, Sarah, I agree with you that Redbox competitive advantage is da, 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 and you say that, you write that out, right? However, I believe the company also has a stronger competitive advantage in, and then you substantiate that because I think was able to, so on and so on and so on. And you want to be substantive, right? You want to be able to expand on the knowledge, deepen our understanding, help us understand your take on why you took that position. And that is what I expect for your peer replies, and I need 3 of those. Again, you can do this by video or audio, but you must follow the oral equivalent to the written form. All right, so again, this document is in Canvas now, and you will find that the rubric will reflect my expectations. There will be points assigned to your initial post, to your peer reply, to the professional manner in which you presented, whether it's written form or audio or video, and it includes language use, as well as other criteria that's listed there in the rubric. Okay, so please let me know if you have questions, and I'm happy to clarify, and I will talk with you again soon. Have a good day.